Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. Sammy here at Sammy J Stitches, and it's time for a new Flosstube. Once again, I am a couple days late, but I am here very early in the morning, so if I look a little tired and puffy, that is why. I am having to slowly adjust my schedule. I say slowly, I'm running out of time, so it's going to become a more brisk change of schedule very soon. So Thursday I go back to work, and I'm working days this time instead of nights. So I'll be working 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. I have not worked days in 9 years. So, and even then it was for a very brief period until I could get on nights. And before that I worked nights. So like, it's an adjustment. It's an adjustment to be awake during the day. All right. So it was both kind of a slow week and yet a very productive week, all at the same time. I feel like the week started out really slow. Like Sunday, I don't think I stitched at all. I didn't even do my daily 100. And then Monday, I think maybe I only did my daily 100. Hold on. I forgot something. All right, let's try this again. I went to get my Notions app. Okay, because I did update it, so it is updated. All right. So yes, Monday I only did my daily 100. So my daily 100 for this past week, is Mini Phantom of the Masquerade from Heaven and Earth Designs and Melissa Dawn. And here's where we've gotten to. So 4, 5, 6, 7. Because I did end up putting 7 days in here. I skipped last Sunday, but I put in some last night when I should have switched over to Alice, and my brain just, it wasn't quite there. These needle minders are on here just to hold this thing out of my way. It's a mess, but it's looking so good, and I think, I want to say we're getting close to having a whole page finished. Even though I'm not stopping at the end of the page, I've been continuing on down. I think an actual page finish is probably like right around here, something like that. So I didn't put an update though last night of where we're at. I want to say we're probably at like 58%, maybe. It's a guesstimate. So this is my oldest project. I started it for Mania, May 1st, 2017. So it just celebrated a birthday recently. So that is Mini Phantom of the Masquerade, and I worked on it all week. So every day you'll hear me say that I worked on it. I'm gonna miss getting 700 stitches into my full coverage every week, but I'm only working 3 days a week, maybe 3.5, but even on half days I should be able to get my daily 100 in. Right now it's just, I'm scheduled for 3 days this week. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday. All right, so then Tuesday, we had our live, and I'm going live on YouTube on Tuesdays and Thursdays, although I really think Thursdays may end up having a change with that being a day that I work, because I'll get home at 7:30 at night. The live is at 8, and I may be ready to just go straight to bed. We'll see. I'm going ahead and sticking with it this Thursday. It may be very lackluster, and then we'll adjust it next week if we have to. So Tuesday afternoons around 1:30, I go live. I'm actually going live at 2 tomorrow, only because I'm trying to push it just a little bit closer to when the kids get out of school. Because Lexi, at the end of this past Tuesday, I stayed on, I think, 4 hours, but she was able to join me for about an hour, and she was diamond painting while I stitched. And then Thursday, we kit at first, and then we stitch. And my son joined us for that. So he is stitching now. He even came in and stitched with me again on Friday because he really enjoyed it. So on the live, y'all voted for, because I put it up on the community board on my YouTube, and y'all voted for Lilith of Labrador. And while on stream, I was able to get 250 stitches in. I thought I was going to go in the house and stitch a little bit more just to make it an even number, but I didn't. So here is where she is. She's looking gorgeous. We worked on a lot of chest up in here. This is Lilith of Labrador from Mirabilia. It is on a 32 count Jobelin and Kelpie from Under the Sea Fabrics, which I thought was a perfect mermaid fabric. So she looks gorgeous. Okay. I'll put those up after, because I'm on a table now that kind of wobbles a little bit. So if I start trying to put that together, y'all are going to get seasick. And of course, my daily 100 on Phantom. Then next, I worked on Hummingbird Pixie. So there's a new cross stitch group. It's called Maypole, Cross Stitch Maypole. And the whole point of it is to put up a couple options, have people vote, and then you stitch on that for a certain goal, and then you can put up your next pole. Or you can have your next pole up while you're stitching. When you hit your goal, then you already know what you're gonna stitch next. So for my first two choices, it's also May, right? It's the beginning of the month. So I have my categories, I have my whip go, I have my focus projects, and my SAL. And so I picked from those two options to give to the group, and then they picked from those two options. So poll number one was Hummingbird Pixie versus Heartful of Gratitude. Hummingbird Pixie was a whip go choice from, I think, number 5, Laurel. She's Laurel Ann here on Flosstube. And Heartful of Gratitude was one of my categories, because y'all know that's what I typically start with. So I let them choose, and they chose Hummingbird Pixie. My goal on Hummingbird Pixie, because it's a whip go piece, is 500 stitches, and it's pretty much all here in the wing. I think I did a couple lines of fill in down here, and then after I got most of this filled in as far as I could, because I think I was missing a color, I started working up here. But for the most part, it's all in that wing. And this blue up here needs to be frogged out because it's supposed to be brown, not blue. There's a big circle and a little circle, and I got them confused. So this is Hummingbird Pixie from Bella Filipina. It is on the world's most perfect fabric for this piece, and that is a 32 count opal linen in Anthea from Under the Sea Fabrics. As soon as I saw this fabric, I knew exactly what needed to go on it, because I feel like she is so colorful, and the background is now so colorful, but they're not the same kind of colorful. It makes me think she's flying through like a forest at sunset type thing. So, because it's got your yellows and greens, but also some like pink coral color. I love it. So this is why I say I was both productive and not productive, because I don't have a lot of whips to show you today, but I put 500 stitches into this in a little bit on May 1st and a little bit on May 2nd. So, you know, it's a balance. It is a balance. All right, and she's in this. Sometimes your bag just has to match your project, and mine is a hummingbird bag that I got from Stitch and Button. So, all right. So that was May 2nd. I worked on that a little bit right after midnight, and then a little bit later in the day. So that's why Lilith didn't get worked on, because by the time I was able to sit down and work on her, it was after midnight, and I was like, well, I could just start on my May 1st stuff. So, and I didn't finish her all in the first day that I stitched on her, so I finished on the second day. I put, oh no, I ended up working on her for 3 days to get her done. So the second was a Thursday, and it's the day that I go live again. We kitted up Home With You from Silver Creek Samplers. I think I've already put it up, so I can't show you. Because one, I think it's fun to kit up as a group. I get input from the chat, and it just makes it less tedious when you're just sitting here unwinding bobbins and putting it on floss cards and stuff by yourself. It can get, I mean, it's not, you know, it's just not as fun as it is when you're working with all your peeps. So we kit first, and we kitted up Home With You, and I don't know when I'm gonna start it. Y'all know I'm not doing a lot of starts this year. It's just, I now know that if I want to start it, it's as easy as just pulling it out. And also it helps me put this big stash of fabric that I have in other places, because I'm starting to run out of room in the place where I keep my fabric. So I know that's kind of silly, but that's what it is. And then as soon as I get done with kitting, then I stitch. My goal this time was just 100 stitches, because at that point, like, my lives don't have a certain amount of time, but I had other things I needed to do. So every Thursday we work on Mystery Kitty, and I put in just 100 stitches, but 100 stitches on her goes so far. And so, sorry, hit that table. We mostly finish up the ear. Like, we have some Krynic fill in, but we've got the whole shape and the fill in, except for the Krynic. That's all we have left. And we've got like a little bit of, I want to say forehead, because it brings the two ears together. And then we'll start on this side, where I think I still need a little bit of section 3 or release 3, and then all of release 4 for that side. So she's still got a bit to go, but that's how I've kind of made her a focus piece, is she's the one we work on every Thursday on the live, and if that moves, then whatever day that it moves to. So, but she's looking really good, super gorgeous. And yeah. Oh, this is Mystery Kitty from Kitty and Me Designs. They are on Etsy. This has been released fully, I believe. It was a sale starting at the beginning of this year. There was a release on January 1st, January 15th, February 1st, and February 15th. So only 4 parts. And like I said, I finished, except for the Krynic right up here, I finished the 4 parts on this side. And we're working on 3 and 4 over here. So, and it is on a 32 count Lugana in My Sunshine from Be Stitch Me, I think. Let me see. Yeah, My Sunshine from Be Stitch Me. Alright, so there's that. And so y'all will start seeing that every video. And what was next? Go back. That was Thursday. And then I worked on Hummingbird Pixie some more. And of course my daily 100. Once I finished Hummingbird Pixie, or before I even finished Hummingbird Pixie, I put up another poll, and it was Heartful of Gratitude, because it didn't get picked the first time, against Mad Tea Party. Mad Tea Party being a Whip Go choice, and of course Heartful of Gratitude being a category. And what did the masses decide? Mad Tea Party. So this is Mad Tea Party by Bella Filipina. She is absolutely gorgeous and so wonderful. Like, you're starting to see her profile here. I love the way that it's done in the shadowing and things like that, so you don't need a lot of backstitch. There is some backstitch around her face that I'll get to once I filled it in some more, but you don't need a whole lot of it when you're using her hair and shadows to create that for you. And then of course this beautiful border we've got going on, where because I use a corner clamp like this, I haven't focused on this area yet. We'll probably get a lot more done over on this side before I move everything in the Q-snap over and make it a little easier on myself. This was from the very first time I stitched on it before I had the Krynic to do the border, because this dark area is all Krynic. It is a brown Krynic, and we also have a purple Krynic in there, and I think a blue one. Maybe not in the border. There is one more Krynic in this project. Anyway, it's looking so good. I enjoy working on it, and I think this fabric was absolutely perfect. It was one of those that when you first saw it, you're like, but it's Alice, right? And so, I don't know. It just works. This is a 32 count Jobelin in Eudore from Under the Sea Fabrics. So, it's perfect. It is perfect. All right. We're running out of room here, but it's okay because I'm pretty sure that was my last thing to show you. I did work on one more thing, but I didn't bring it because I'm finishing it today. So we'll just see it next week. What I worked on over the weekend was Fairy Tale Lands 2. I will show it to y'all next week. My next poll, after I finished Tea Party, which took me May 4th and May 5th. Well, yeah, May 5th was Sunday. So, yeah. Anyway, so I put another poll up, and it was Heart Full of Gratitude, again, category against. I haven't found my third Whip Go piece yet. It's in here somewhere. I need to find it. But instead of putting it up, I put up one of my focus pieces. So Heart Full of Gratitude category, focus piece, Fairy Tale Lands 2. And that's what got chosen. I got some mail to go pick up. And so I worked on it last night, and I'm working on it today, and my next poll is already up, and it's between Heart Full of Gratitude, because someday somebody's gonna pick it, or it's gonna be the last thing I work on this month. Heart Full of Gratitude against Haunted Mansion, which is one of my focus pieces that I only put 200 stitches into. So I'm gonna have to get another poll up pretty quick, because it's not gonna take me long to get those 200 stitches. I should get that today. So those are my plans for this week. Today we're finishing up fairy tales and whatever gets voted on for Maple. This week is Mini Alice and a Dolly Dream as a focus piece. Guess you'll only get 3 days because Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I need to find a focus piece for while I'm at work, but my problem with that right now is I don't know what to expect from this position. I went back to work for the same company, but we're contracted out to a different company than we were before, and I don't know what the expectations or the job entails. So until I know that, I don't really want to pick. What I would like to do is either find my third Whip Go piece, which is a Mill Hill, and keep it with me just in case I find time during the day to work on it, or and my Quirky Quaker. My Quirky Quaker is one of my focus, or one of my category pieces this month, and so if having something small like that at work, it still gets progress on my goals. So that's the plan for right now. Again, I don't know that I'll get much of any stitching done the 3 days that I work, because if I don't stitch at work, I may not be able to stitch at home either, because I work 12 hours and it's an hour and a half drive each way. So now you're up to 15 hours. And in a 24-hour day, it only leaves 9 hours left. And typically you try to sleep about 8. So we'll just have to see how it goes. Y'all are along for the ride with me. I do believe I'm starting out in a truck again. And again, I'm not sure exactly what to expect. So we'll see how things go. All right, just a quick recap of the plans for the rest of the month. On WhipGo, I have Love Stitching, which is Mill Hill, left. I finished the other two. I still have my Sal, which is Living with Charm. I have my focus pieces. So Fairy Tale Lands is over here. World Postage Stamp, Haunted Mansion, Mini Alice and Dolly Dream, and Spangled to work on. Then categories, we have Heartful of Gratitude, the Quirky Quaker / QS Ladybug, because I know the Quirky Quaker will finish with less stitches than I need for that section. So then we'll finish up on QS Ladybug. What else did we choose? Hold on, I've got it right here. I'm trying to do this all from memory and I've got it right in front of me. Dark Queen of the Sea, Ladies Who Lunch, and Aurora. So we're gonna work on getting all of that done first. Plus Mystery Kitty will get worked on every Thursday before we start working on anything else. And then after that, it'll be kind of luck of the draw and kind of what haven't we touched on in a while. So I was able to update my notions so that I actually see when I go into my patterns and projects, there's a column for last seen. So because every time I put in my stitches into the app, I link it to whichever whip that I'm working on, that whip now knows when was this last stitched on, how many stitches does it have, blah 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 blah. And so with this category, or with this column, last seen, I can sort it, and I know that I have not worked on Heartful of Gratitude since February 7th. It is the oldest, the thing I haven't touched in the longest. So, and then like Mini Phantom of the Masquerade, I stitched on May 4th. So it goes like in order from oldest to newest. So I'll probably use that to kind of guide where I stitch on my free stitching to make sure everything continuously gets some stitches. But also, I think about that like when I decide to put up a poll to see what y'all want me to stitch. Okay, I gotta tell you, I keep distracting myself. I have to look in the camera, and there's this gray hair right here that's super shiny. It's just distracting the heck out of me. I'm so sorry. Okay, so when I pulled projects to vote on this last week, and I actually need to do that today for tomorrow, for what we stitch on during the live on Tuesdays, I went to what hasn't been stitched in the longest, and I took away things that are already planned stitches this month. So Heartful of Gratitude and Ladies Who Lunch, I knocked those off. And then I put up the next 3 to be voted on, which this week will be Celebrate Christmas, not Dark Queen of the Sea because she's on the poll for this, or she's a category for this month. So Dark Queen of the Earth, that's 2. I always put up 3. Aurora is getting worked on this month. So Gift of Giving would be the 3 that I will put up on a poll as soon as I go back into the house. So even if you're not joining us for the lives, please make sure and vote, just because the more votes, the more fun, especially if some get like neck and neck. Also, if you're interested, again, it'll be about 2 p.m. tomorrow Central Standard Time. And if you don't make the lives, but you're still curious what the live is like, you can join, you can find it on my channel under I think it stays under a live tab. You may have to go to the channel and select live, and then it'll be whatever one's latest. Tuesdays are Stitch and Chat, and then Thursdays are Kit Then Stitch and Chat. So if you're interested, also I will take suggestions on times that may work for people. I just picked 2 random. I'd like them to be different times. So Tuesdays are in the afternoon and Thursdays are in the evening. Thursdays may have to move to Mondays. I still got to go to bed early on Wednesdays. And then, so Sunday or Monday. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Let's see how this Thursday goes. So, those are my plans for the month. Those are my plans for this week. And those are the whips. I don't think I have anything fun to show y'all. I do want to reiterate that I recently opened an actual website. So y'all know that I have my shop, the Tiny Hummingbird Stitchery. And mostly I run off a Facebook group. Feel free to join there too. But I now have a website too. It's tinyhummingbirdstitchery.myshopify.com. I will try to remember to link it below if you want to check it out. So it is in progress, under construction. It's not the most beautiful website, but it's something. So if you're new here, welcome. I hope you found something you enjoy and keeps you coming back for more. If you're a new friend and or a returning friend and subscriber, thank you so much for coming back week after week. I truly appreciate you. Thank you for watching, liking, subscribing, commenting, all the ways that you show you love me, and I will see y'all next week.